Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my manipulative ex? I 18F have been with my boyfriend 18M for 3 years. We started talking when we were both 15 and hit it off very well. We both liked sports, and he would teach me more about his interests. After about a year, I moved in with him after having problems at home at the age of 16, which were honestly very bad, and I don't feel like getting into all of that. As teenagers, we were very excited about moving in with each other, not fully understanding what we were getting into. Defending myself, I didn't have anyone, not even family, who would talk to me, so he was my last option. When we moved in, everything was good at first. I talked to his mom, and as far as I knew, she was okay with it. I asked her if she wanted me to pay rent, and she said no. This made me happy because I could save up, buy stuff for myself and him, and relax, so I thought. Just to give you a little more backstory, we're both Hispanic, so there are cultural rules. She let me know I had to cook and clean for him, regardless of whether I had a job or not. I accepted, and I didn't know how to cook, so we were eating eggs in every way you could cook them. LOL. After a week, I used TikTok to learn how to cook cultural and healthy dishes because he is an athlete. After about 2 weeks of cooking for him, my boyfriend told me that his mother said I should join her in cooking to learn and ask her for help. I did, even though I thought it was weird of her not to come to me, especially if we were living under the same roof. At first, she accepted my offer to help her cook and learn at the same time. But when my boyfriend and I started to have problems, she would say no. At first, I genuinely thought she just wanted to get it all done. But then my boyfriend came asking why I was being selfish and not helping his mother. I explained, but he insisted that I should have pushed it and just picked something up and asked what I could do. Y'all, this has me so messed up. We also began to argue about stuff his mom would tell him. I would go into the living room to talk to her, but she would be watching TV and turn the volume up when I was talking. Of course, I felt offended because my family always turns the TV off when I talk to them about something. In general, she would be very mad coming back from work or just in general, insulting my boyfriend about everything he did. We would try to have a date night every Saturday, and when we'd come back, it would be a lecture. We were 17 at this time, both with licenses and always within curfew. I always brought his mom up to him because I thought she would always butt into our relationship when she told us she wouldn't, and it wasn't her. It was her family. Every time they would come over, they would shade me and make fun of me for not speaking proper Spanish. I would tell my boyfriend, and he would go back and tell them, and they would basically gang up on me. I had never felt that angered, lonely, and sad at one time. Before this, I lived in a toxic and abusive home. I expressed my feelings to my now ex-boyfriend, his mom, his family, my grandma, and my dad. And out of all those people, my dad and grandma were the only ones who believed me because they heard and witnessed this. My dad is incarcerated and my grandma is in a different country. This went on for 9 months. And then I stopped caring. I stopped cooking for him and told him his mom could cook for him since she knew everything. Or that he has 2 arms and legs that are fully capable of walking and cooking for himself. I started playing games with my friends. He would come back from the gym mad when he saw I hadn't cooked anything, even though his mom had cooked something for him. We argued until he kicked me out. When he kicked me out, I went to move in with what I thought was my best friend, but I found out differently. Anyhow, I told him I needed a break, and that lasted 2 days because I couldn't resist giving in to him. He kept calling and texting. We kept the relationship going, and it was cool until it wasn't. He got super impatient with me and got mad when I didn't text him within 2 minutes, and I just wasn't aligned with a regular sleeping schedule. I wasn't eating right. Mind you, I dropped down to the 80s something pounds while with him. I just wasn't myself anymore. While I was living with him, he was watching porn and saving pictures of better-looking females. I completely lost myself and felt like I lost value. Just recently, I broke things off with him, and he would pop up out of nowhere, making me feel guilty for ending things with him and not acknowledging that he'd hurt me. I was nice, but then I got annoyed and tired of it, and I ended things coldly. I feel bad, but I feel like that was the only thing I could do for him to give me time. And now, I look back and feel bad because I know he is manipulated by his mom. But is that my fault for him not snapping out of it after I told him multiple times? He still believes I'm the bad guy. I'm not an angel by any means, but I recognized my wrongs and didn't continue them. So, am I the a-hole for breaking up with my manipulative ex?